Exactly. And underneath that fear is something else. Underneath that fear is, say, unimportance. कि मुझे गुस्सा क्यों आता है? मुझे गुस्सा आता है क्योंकि आपने मुझे एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया, या मुझे वो इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं दी.
True.
And that's a very, very painful thing to accept. So I get angry.
True. Hello, everyone. Today we have with us Ritu Malhotra. She is a psychologist, a kinesiologist, and a teaching metaphysician. And she runs the Ajna Center in Pune. And her primary focus is to help people discover the power of choice in their lives and learn to touch the field of consciousness and light. So, welcome, Ritu ma'am.
Thank you. Lovely to be here.
Likewise.
Yeah. Can you hear me properly?
Perfect.
Okay.
So, Ritu ma'am, can you first tell that exactly what you do and what is Ajna Center?
Well, I started Ajna about 30 some years ago, over 30 years ago. And that is a long story, actually, the way it came to that. I believe that there is always a personal reason why we do things that we, take on passionately in our lives. It is always something that means a lot to us. And there is a reason why it means a lot to us. Because of something either we are searching for ourselves or, something that we feel a lack of. So as a child, I was very sick and I was looking for something to help me. The regular allopathic modern medicine was not helping me. So I was looking for alternative ways to help myself get healthy. I could hardly breathe. My lungs were packing up and I was desperately searching. So that journey led me to explore one dimension, another alternative way, all kinds of natural healings, etc. And I came to the learning, the understanding that whatever happens to us, underneath all that is a feeling. Yeah. And that feeling is more important than the symptom itself. Yeah. Its basis was in our Hindu traditions, in Ayurveda, for instance, So I decided to start Ajna Center in Pune, where I was living at the time, and I still am. And that's how it began. First to help myself and then to help somebody else. And I think that is the way to approach any kind of authentic learning and study, And before we get into that, I'd like to say one more thing. The reason I called it Ajna was because Ajna is our third eye. It's the name of the Ajna Chakra, which is in between the eyebrows. And that is the center of learning in the brain. Whenever we learn something new, or we make a new choice, or we discover an option in our lives, this is the area of the brain that we use. Otherwise, when you have learned to do something, it goes behind the brain, in the back brain. All back past memory is the back brain. And it's amazing that we use the back brain 95% of the time. So Ajna signifies new learning, new choices, new alternatives. Yeah, that is how the brain is rejuvenated. It is refreshed. Okay.
Wow. That's a very well way to term what you want to do for life and how to help people for that. So
and I also feel that it's very easy to do, and that is what I'd like to say. It's not Psychology does not have to exist in an ivory tower somewhere and become very, very esoteric and very difficult to reach.
True, definitely. Yes, we'll definitely get more in depth to that. So let's first start with kinesiology. And can you share what is kinesiology? And along with that, I also know that as per my research, there's a lot of muscle testing which happens with kinesiology. So can you explain this?
Yeah. First of all, the word kinesis represents movement. In this case, it is movement of the muscle. Yeah. Now, the basis is that every time you have a thought in your head, or every time you think, speak, or feel something, it passes through your whole body. Okay? It doesn't just stay in the brain. Every cell of the body responds to that thought. Okay? So when we have a single thought, it is readable, and it is readable through muscle response. And that is what I have learned to do. It is the most slight and the most smallest movement of the muscle that you can detect to determine whether it is a yes or no answer, whether this thought or word gives stress to the body or it's okay for the body. You know, like they do lie detector tests. You must have heard of that. You know, they hook up your body with little wires and they ask you some questions. And what are they testing? I can test any muscle in the body and it will tell me whether this thought is stressful or whether I'm okay with that. And in the same way, we test for the emotions that cause stress. In the same way, we can test how much stress is there in the body. We can also test how much motivation is there in the body. Okay. And why are we testing the body? Why not just ask somebody, how are you feeling?
Correct.
Yeah. Now, all the time we answer that question. Someone says, how are you, Harish? And Harish says, I'm fine. Right? But whether you're fine or not, that is how you answer. But
True.
If you want to come to the truth of something, you have to bypass that conscious controlling mind and you have to go to the truth. And the body does not lie. The mind lies.
True.
Yeah, because it either wants to, it has fear, or it wants to hide something, or it is embarrassed, or whatever. So if we want the truth, this is the shortest, easiest, and simplest way to get to the truth of anybody's reality. You know?
True. So is it like whenever you're, let's say, I'm not sure what you call when you have, I guess I assume that whenever someone meets you, he's a patient for you, he or she is a patient for you. But when you're doing your muscle testing,
well, it's, yeah.
So when you're doing your muscle testing, is it that you are checking each muscle and asking a question at that time and are getting the true response from the body itself?
Absolutely. I'll give you an example. I am saying something and I'm testing your muscle, right? Now I am, I'll give you an example. For instance, the muscle says anger, or I'm saying, does this particular situation give you anger? And the muscle says yes. Now, it is not only that I know by testing that small thing, I also know what is underneath that anger. The body will tell me on asking a similar question whether there is a disappointment. That is what causes the anger. Yeah. So underneath the anger, there may be a disappointment or a fear of some sort. But we show it as anger, right? Because that's all we've learned to do. We don't know anything else.
True,
Yeah?
true.
So underneath that disappointment, there's another deeper feeling, which may be that I'm unacceptable the way I am, or I'm not as important as I would like to be. Yes? And that is what is causing me to be angry.
It's like a feeling
But
of
we are
hopelessness.
just used to a superficial emotion, not the emotion that is deep inside. Now, how would I come to that truth? By asking you. When I ask anybody, and that is in our culture as well, when you ask anybody, are you stressed or is there something stressful? We say, no, there's nothing wrong with my life. I'm okay. Everything's fine. You know? So then I call my work getting better. So I'm coming from that premise ki, yes, you're fine. Of course you're fine. But would you like to get better? You know, it's an emotional fitness.
Right.
So the body is not the only thing that needs to be fit. Our emotions need to get fitter as well. Right?
True, true. And that's the way, I guess, your face also is one of the biggest tellers of what you're feeling rather than the words which come out. So
absolutely. And those that know how to read that would be able to find out, right?
Definitely. So, Ritu ma'am, I assume in your process, we also have biofeedback, right? Within that time. So, can you share an example of how do you manage the process? Let's say someone comes to a course. What is the exact procedure?
Yeah. So I'm going to take Harish. Okay. So Harish calls me and says, you know what? I have an unhappy, I have an unhappy relationship and I would like to make it better. Right? We all have some unhappy relationship. True. I would like to make it better. So then for the first 5 minutes, I will find out what is it that is going on with you. You can tell me a few things about the relationship, but we don't talk too much. Okay. We go right to the testing. So we find out, okay, what is the stress level at this moment? Yeah. And how much do you feel that you can make this relationship better? That's also a percentage. Yeah. So we determine that. Then we find out, what are you really feeling? You know, you may say that I'm very upset or I feel helpless. But what you are really feeling may be that you fear something, that this person will leave you or this person will not, give you what you want, or this person may not be interested in you. Yeah, that is what you're really feeling. So in the course of the first session, we reduce the stress on what this person is feeling. And by reducing the stress, by doing various techniques, I can't say them to you like that. It's an experience you go through. So by reducing the stress, the brain now shifts from back to front. Yeah. Now you begin to see, oh yeah, you know what? I could do this, or I could say this, or aha, I haven't done this. Maybe I can do that. So you start to explore and discover new things that you may never have thought of before. And that is because the stress level is now reduced. Then the most important part of the session is that what is the body trying to tell you? The body is trying to say that, you know what? You have an option here. If you are feeling hurt or embarrassed or fearful, this is also something that exists in the body. You also have confidence within you. You have bravery. You have interest. You have a peace and a calm also within you that already exists. So you know what? main thing to understand is that life never gives us only the negative. It always gives us the positive also. But when we are focused on the negative, we don't look for the positive.
True.
You know, we forget कि भाई अगर दिन है तो रात है तो दिन है, दोनों एक ही है ना. पर हम कभी जब दिन होता है तो हम सोचते हैं कि रात नहीं होगी. Of course it will be there. And we accept that. Then why do we not accept that within this fear, there is also assurance within the same body? Right? And I help you, help yourself to find and go to that place. Yeah?
Yes, that's true. People fail to remember or recollect that there are a lot of goods within them also. And they always see the negative side.
A lot of strength. A lot of strength that we were all born with, you know. We didn't come here as defective pieces. We came here as whole human beings, 100% energy. And then the belief system develops. And then life happens. And then we develop our personalities. Yeah. So a very important part of the process is to go back to that time where we had all of this. और हम भूल गए कि ये भी है.
सही बात.
So we go down the memory lane.
True. So is it like if someone comes to you, I know that it's more difficult to say the things which they really are facing. So then you have the procedures like a muscle testing approach or a stress testing approach. But when someone actually comes to you for these sessions, is it like a more of a one-on-one tailored approach, or is it a group session?
No, it's always one-on-one. The private sessions. See, Ajna has 2 or 3 things that we do, activities. One is the private sessions that go on every day. Yeah. And each session lasts about an hour and a half and sometimes 2 hours. Yeah. Other than that, we have training programs. Training programs are group things where I am training you to become a kinesiologist.
Okay.
But these are 100% confidential and 100% private sessions. Yeah.
Okay. So whenever someone comes to you, have you faced any resistance from your patients as they share their stories?
Of course, there is resistance because the brain has accepted a certain helplessness. The brain is not accustomed to making choices. So it has become habit forming. It becomes like any other addiction. So the moment I suggest something else, there is resistance, of course. But that is my job. You know, that is my job to go past that resistance and still to let the stress level come down so that that resistance does not have as much fear. See, resistance, the name of resistance is fear.
That's true.
नहीं तो resistance का क्या फायदा है?
That's the root cause.
Yeah.
Even I've seen many people getting angry and then later realizing that they do generally get angry because they have fear. And whenever they are in a moment when they'll be more fearful, they get more angry.
Exactly. And you know, underneath that fear is something else. Underneath that fear is, say, unimportance. कि मुझे गुस्सा क्यों आता है? मुझे गुस्सा आता है क्योंकि आपने मुझे एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया या मुझे वो इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं दी.
True.
Huh? And that's a very, very painful thing to accept. So I get angry.
True. Having the
Yeah.
feeling of being
So
ignored is one of the biggest problems.
Exactly. That you don't matter. Now that really hurts a lot. Yeah. And all we have learned is anger. We haven't learned anything else. And that is another thing which I want to, emphasize, that our education, bachpan se, we are not taught to handle our feelings. Balki we are taught to suppress feelings. Hai na? So in which school or which teacher is teaching us to handle disappointment? Tell me. Or embarrassment or loss. We lose people, we lose things. Right. Nobody teaches us to handle all these things which like discouragement. Kaun sikha raha hai hame? So this, I feel, emotional education or emotional intelligence, which has now in the last 30, 40 years become such a fad now, everybody's into emotional intelligence. But it is absolutely necessary from the beginning. A child should be taught these things in kindergarten, because that is when he or she leaves the house, and goes into school and starts to get into competition and all of that, right?
True.
So, this is the stuff, Harish, this is the stuff of everyday life. Tell me, who can escape this and who has escaped it? None of us. We have all gone through childhoods that have been stressful. Agar school mein nahi, to ghar pe. Ghar pe, So society mein, hamare friends ke saath, peers ke saath, everywhere. So, this, what I would like to see, as far as my work is concerned, I would like to see it at the street level, because emotions is what we all share. No matter where you are in the world, no matter what your status is, no matter how rich or poor or what we are, what color or race or anything, we all feel the same things, the same way.
That's true. And that is something
we all feel joy and happiness, and regret. Whether you're in Pune or in Timbuktu, you feel the same thing. So then this should be something that should be primary education. And that is what my whole purpose is at Ajna. I want to address and remove the stigma that is attached to taking counseling. Counseling has got the label that अरे पागल लोग जाते हैं वहां तो.
True.
Yeah, कुछ, when you come to the edge of something, when you want to commit suicide, why do you need to come to that level? This is preventive. Prevent that from happening. Discover for yourself the strength that lives within you already, right now.
True.
और वो बाहर से नहीं आती. I'm not going to inject something into somebody. I uncover and unpack what is already there.
And I guess, many people do not know what's within them, as well as, very good point, that these set of emotions of handling our own emotions should be taught right from the start. But that is something which we later learn as we are in college, or let's say we join a job. Then is the time when we really realize, and then it could be that someone might just hit the wall and not proceed further.
Exactly. And the thing is that habits are formed before the age of 7. That is where the blueprint is. And once the die is cast, that becomes a belief system.
Correct.
That is your personality. And then from then on, you begin to fill in the blanks. I am smart. I am stupid. I am clever. Or I am devious, or I am cute. Or I am ugly. Whatever. वो सब पहले ही हो चुका है. वो पहले ही हो चुका है सब. So why not begin right there?
True. And these habits or these feelings get imprinted in what we define ourselves as.
Yes.
So,
and that becomes the image of self.
Yes.
So you know what? If Harish has a particular image about himself, that he cannot dance, for instance, and there is something in his company that says, "Acha, aaj to dance party hai," he will just not go there. Or he'll say, no, I have 2 left feet. I just can't dance. So I'm not even going to attempt.
Wow, yeah? You really caught me there.
And most of our, I chose a very simple one. There are many others. But what I'm saying is that is the image that we have of ourselves. This is decided very, very early in our childhoods. But it is in the memory of the body. That is what I am testing. I'm testing the cellular memory. Memory that is just like a computer. No? It has eons of memory, this body. Which we don't even know that we have programmed. So actually this body is a program. And in this program is this belief system कि हम तो ऐसे ही हैं और हम ऐसे ही रहेंगे.
True.
अरे भाई बदल सकते हो तुम.
Right.
और बहुत आसानी से बदल सकते हो और हंसी खुशी से बदल सकते हो. It is not something that we have to cry over. It's not a very serious business. Let's not make it so. In fact, my sessions are very funny because we really begin to laugh at ourselves. Can you imagine? I mean, I was so crazy to have done this, as you look back, So it's like that. It doesn't have to be, rona dhona all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. But again, having sessions with laughter is like the best medicinal approach how you can conduct your sessions.
My subject is emotions because I feel that no matter what problem you have in your life, the problem is never the problem. It's how you feel about the problem. That's the problem. ठीक है? आज तुम वहां बैठे हो, the roof falls on your head. You have a few choices, right? You can cry about it for the next 6 months. Or you can say, all right, I have to build another roof.
True.
Right? So the problem is not the problem. The problem is not that the roof fell. The problem is how do you feel about the roof falling? Right? Because things happen. Life happens to all of us. We all have stories. Yeah? We all have stories that are sad and that are joyful and that are hurtful and that are, much happens in our lives, all our lives. But to learn to accept what is the purpose of all this. And that is my last session with anybody. And that is that we are an energy, all of us. This body is an energy. This life is an energy. This world is energy. Yeah. And we are an important part of that energy. This energy is magnetic in nature. तो हम जो हम एक मैग्नेट के जैसे हैं. Whatever we express, we attract the similar thing. So if I express anger, I will attract that anger. And sometimes I sit and wonder, why is my life like this? Go back to yourself. What are you putting out there? The change happens within, not on the outside. We are always looking outside.
True.
When this happens, my life will change. When I get this job, when I have this much money, when that girl comes into my life, or I have this Mercedes Benz, whatever. It isn't out there.
True. Within.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, just talking about these things has a very short lifespan. But when you go through an experience, then it becomes yours. Yeah? Right. And that is what kinesiology is. That is what Ajna Center is all about. It is an experiential learning. It's not bookish. It's not intellectual. Yeah? Right. Once it becomes an emotional learning, then you own it. And know you can only share it then.
True.
No one can take it away from you. And by sharing it, it grows for you and for them. So that is how powerful this dynamo is.
True.
Which is this life, which is this opportunity that we have been given. All of us. Same way, huh? All of us.
Definitely. So,
even though it doesn't appear to be at times. Yeah.
So, Ritu ma'am, have you observed any one common limitation which have been set by people?
Absolutely. One universal is, I'm not okay. Huh? Or I have very low self-worth.
Not having the feeling
that underlies almost everything. Yeah. My personal value. Now really tell me, the moment we look at ourselves with a value, doesn't our behavior change?
It does.
Why will I choose to be an alcoholic or a drug addict? Yeah.
True.
Yeah, we are all looking for value. It's the same thing everywhere. People express it in different ways. Yeah. Some will express it as a relationship problem, some as a health issue, some as some fears, phobias, addictions, obsessions, all kinds of things people express it as. But when you come down to it, deep down into your cellular memory, we are all the same.
True.
Yeah.
True.
We have certain obstructions in the way we look. So we are actually our perceptions. Yeah. You look at one thing and you may get scared that, arey, that's a snake. I may look at the same thing and say, arey, that's just a rope. Right?
True.
So it is our ability to see that I am working on in a very gentle and a very, very non-intrusive way. In my session, you are not forced to do anything. You have come here as a seeker. You want something, right? That's why you're here.
Correct.
It is my job to facilitate your ability to find that. Yeah.
True.
So my job is to shine the light on all those dark spaces that you have not been able to see.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, I guess I too have noticed, and I guess this feeling I've noticed more in the generations which have directly entered the social media era, which is that I am not enough. And that gets more dominant when they keep coming to their social media accounts and keep seeing what their friends or their families have been doing. And their feeling gets more inculcated with them that I'm not enough, I'm not enough, I'm not enough.
Yep.
True.
In fact, there's a blog I write regularly, and I just finished writing the same thing. And the title of it is Chasing Happiness.
That's nice. That's nice.
So, yeah, the chase is on, and nothing can ever be enough.
True.
No job, no relationship, no possession. Nothing can be enough because someone else will always have more.
Yes.
Than you. Yeah. So we're looking in the wrong place.
Yes. There will always be someone who's bigger than you.
I teach you. Yeah. So I change the lens with which you see. Actually, it's called bloodless brain surgery.
That's a nice term.
Yeah.
That's a nice term and a more. That's a nice term and a more comforting term for the patient.
Yeah, because you don't realize that you've come to a brain surgeon.
True.
You didn't opt for that. Huh? But it happens so painlessly, that you don't even realize that you've suddenly not the same person anymore.
True.
Because your value has gone up in your own eyes.
That's
so
true.
You're not looking out there for someone else to tell you that you're okay. I can look in the mirror right now and tell myself the same thing.
Right. And again, with full 100%.
And that is how I will attract to myself what I truly want. Shall I say that again?
No. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Because, it takes a while before people get it. It's so simple. We miss it. It's that simple.
Yes.
And the mind wants to complicate things too much. Life isn't complicated. We make it complicated. It's really quite simple. In fact, I call my work the search of the simple.
True. So, Ritu ma'am, moving now from kinesiology to your other traits, that is, you are also a teaching metaphysician. Now, what is that exactly?
Yeah, as I said, I may be using a technique or a method in order to determine behaviors and, the symptoms that everybody has, the emotional symptoms. But what I'm truly working on is your energy. Yeah. And metaphysics is the science of energy, that everything has an energy. The table, the chair you're sitting on, the world that you live in, every tiny thing has an energy. And this energy doesn't do anything on its own. It's just there. When we probe it or touch it or use it, it starts to get activated. Yeah. So I have a thought, for instance, that is energy. Is it a good thought or a bad thought? Is it a stressful thought or a pleasure thought? Is it going to make me happy or is it going to get me down in the dumps? It's an energy. Wherever I put my focus on, aisa ho jayega. What if this happens? Tomorrow, I'm going to go there. What if I'm not accepted? Blah, 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 blah. We go. Yeah. That is an energy. And wherever I put my energy, it is going to become bigger. It expands and it expands. And by the way, this is nothing new. I'm not saying anything that I have invented. This is there in the Vedas. Okay, that is how old the concept of energy is. Because this whole universe is an energy mechanism. And this whole life that we have is an energy game. And we need to play it as a game. Because it's only here for a very short while, you know.
True.
I don't know how old you are or how long you plan to be here, but it is very short, really. So then how do you want to use this?
Right.
Because this is just an opportunity, you know. So metaphysics really expands and gives you the big picture of life.
Okay.
You are not just Harish Punjabi. You are much more than that. Yeah.
Right.
And your energy level extends far beyond your body. Yeah. This is not anything esoteric. It's a scientific principle. And today, quantum physics is teaching us exactly that. Yeah. That a wave or a particle is what you see it as. You can see it as a wave and I can see it as a particle. Right? So it depends on the observer. Yeah? So that is what metaphysics is. And that is how I use to get you to beyond the obstacles that you have created in your life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can only do that by shifting your perception.
Right. Means it happens a lot.
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, definitely. Means I have an example to share it. I have noticed that some people who have the example which you gave, the expansion of energy, whenever someone who has very high energy, you just notice them as they enter the room. And I don't know, there's some aura or that kind of energy which they carry that everyone has their eyes on either him or her.
You call it charisma.
Right.
You know, you call it charisma. Right. But actually, when you get down to it, it is that energy, you know, that they feel about themselves. There is a certainty that they know either they are good at this or they're going to be very valuable in this room or however.
Right.
They carry that magnetism. It's a magnetism.
Right. So, ma'am, now moving on to how do you prime yourself for the day? And do you follow any morning routine?
Absolutely. I'm a very early riser. I do believe that to wake up as the sun wakes up, the energy is the highest. So yes, I do begin with meditation, which I do as part of my Vipassana, training that I've been doing for the past 25 or so years.
Wow.
Focusing on my breath. Yeah. And then I have an exercise routine because it's not just the mind, it's the body as well. So I need to train my muscles. So I have a workout, I'm also of the firm opinion that it's body, mind, and spirit, all of it. So I eat extremely healthy. I don't have processed food very much, or I don't have fizzy drinks, or basically I'm conscious of where I spend my energy.
True.
Yeah. So any wasteful activity, according to me, which could be gossip, which could be putting someone down, which could be procrastination of, like say, not doing my exercise, or indulging in too much sweet. Yeah. So it's just a consciousness, Harish, actually. When I'm aware, I naturally do the things that are good for this energy. And it keeps it in balance.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So it's not like I'm a hermit or anything. I do everything that everybody else does, but I do it in balance. And I think that balance is that art, we've all here to learn.
That's true.
This life is an artful balance. And as we maintain that, I think everything else fits into place, really.
Definitely. You mentioned about your experience with Vipassana. Can you share more on that? That what kind of changes have you noticed after Vipassana?
Oh, first of all, I was very young when I went there. So I was not prepared for the earthquake that I was going to experience. It's like, the rug is pulled from under your feet and you just kind of cannot hold on to anything anymore. Everything that you realize you have lived by, everything that is security for you you realize is only temporary. This whole life is only temporary. Every emotion is only temporary. So the lesson of Vipassana is impermanence. So what am I holding on to? Right? So you start looking at attachment differently, but you also start to use your time very effectively, because this opportunity is only this much. It's like 24 hours in the day. This day is not going to come back. Yeah. So how do I want to live my day? I will need to be aware for that. Yeah.
Right.
So, that kind of thing. As I said, it's all really simple. Once you allow it to become your reality, and then you start to look at everything like that. Say I lose something, or say I don't get what I want. My perception will go to, isme bhi kuch bhala hoga. Yeah, what is the win in this situation? What do I have to gain from it? Maybe it wasn't meant to be. Yeah. So I stopped chasing it. Because chasing is where the stress level comes, no?
Right.
Isn't
we
it?
start telling ourselves our own story.
Yeah. And we are all the stories we tell ourselves. You're right. Absolutely.
True.
Yeah.
So, Ritu ma'am, we've just come to the end of our show. What message would you like to share with everyone?
Well, I'd like to repeat a couple of things because they're difficult to absorb. As I said, they're so simple, but they're difficult to absorb. I would like everyone who's heard this, and for you also, whoever you share it with, I would like people to look at themselves as the magnetic creatures that we all are. I would like you to concentrate on re-establishing what is it that I really truly want in this life, and concentrating on first giving that and then getting it for ourselves. If there's peace I want, or if there's companionship I want, or if I'm lonely and I want a partner, learn to be a partner first. And you will attract a partner that way. You know? Another thing that works absolutely wonders is breath. Just the concentration on breath. You know, without breath, we are nothing. Breath is the ultimate treasure we have. And we focus so little on it. You know, breath is the interface between our emotional world and ourselves. When we are angry, our breath changes. When we are sad, our breath changes. When we are excited, our breath changes. You know? So through the breath is the way to the spirit, actually. It calms the mind. It calms the body for nourishment and nutrition. We then absorb what we digest. Otherwise, we don't absorb it. It goes away as waste. Yeah? So there is one thing that I tell a lot of my clients, and that is that since I call my center Ajna, this is a area where there is a gland called the pineal gland in the brain. It's deep inside the brain, but the most important part of this brain is that it is light sensitive. It responds to light. So when we take a flashlight, a small pen light, for instance, and we shine it here in the middle of the forehead, we rejuvenate this gland. A lot of times it goes to sleep because we don't use it. And that is the seat of memory. That is the seat of the real, true brain that we are trying to access. Okay? Mm-hmm. So as we shine this light, 1 minute, only 1 minute in the morning and 1 minute at night, before we go to bed, you will find that there are neurological changes within the brain over a period of time that you will really be happy about. Your comfort level.
Yes.
Your ability to think clearly. The lack of confusion. Your ability to remember will go up.
True. I guess everyone should definitely try this out to experience.
And it's not harmful. You can't harm yourself. You can only help.
Definitely. Okay? I too have experience while doing meditation how the attention and focus directly unconsciously shifts to the center of the head. And yes, definitely. Yeah. I'll recommend everyone who I know to practice what you just said.
Yeah. And if there are any questions at all, please get in touch with me. Visit my website, which is AJNACENTER, ajnacenter.org. And also write to me at ajnacenterforlearning.
Yes.
At gmail.com. Yeah. I also have another email, Ritu Life Coach, RITU Life Coach @gmail. So feel free to write to me. I'd love to hear from you and answer any questions that you may have. And do visit the website. Yeah, there are a lot of videos there you can see on the website. So keep in touch. And thank you for this, Harish.
Definitely. I will make sure to link all those contacts, the website, as well as the email IDs in the show notes, so that anyone wants to refer, they can directly get in touch with you as well as your team. Again, Ritu ma'am,
Yeah.
very much thank you for sharing all your knowledge on kinesiology, on metaphysics. This will be very much helpful to all our users. Okay.
I hope so. I certainly hope so. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you again.
Thank you.